Hi guys, welcome to Original Games UK. Okay, so unfortunately, as you can tell from the video title, you know that I'm going to be talking about Street Fighter V's problems that it's had and that it still does have, in my opinion. Am I saying the game is bad? No, by no means. But there's some things in the game that I've tried to adapt to see if this is something that's really genuinely part of the game or if it's not, and unfortunately it is, and that's one of the biggest problems, but I will go on to that one. But in general, problems that Street Fighter V has had, the actual launch of Street Fighter V, the servers and the online infrastructure was awful. The fact that there was no shop, there was no challenges, there's no arcade, the story mode is nothing more than, well, I don't even know what, they can't even really class that as a story, if we're being honest. So from the get-go, like lots of people who I know who thought about getting the game from a kind of more just general point of view, not particularly big Street Fighter fans, but with it being like a new game exclusive to PS4, they wanted to pick it up. And is it something that I could strongly recommend? As a Street Fighter player, yeah it is, but as a game, if you compare what that offers as a whole game compared to something like Mortal Kombat or most other fighting games now, in its current state, and as I say, at its launch state, there was no Alex, there was no shop, there was no challenges, there's no arcade, there's still no arcade, there's still no proper story. I can't recommend it over something else like that. So that was already a huge issue. Okay. Another one is the online. What is going on with the online? I know that most people in America don't seem to have a problem with this, so maybe you don't actually see where I'm coming from. But still here in Europe, or where we're living in the UK, it takes like 15-20 minutes to find every rank match, and a good 10 minutes to find a casual match. You don't want that in a fighting game. You want to fight your opponent, win or lose, and then go on to the next one. You don't want to be waiting around. And I know why they've done it the way it is, so you can't go and find people who are worse than you or grind on friends. I get that. But I prefer an online structure where I can keep just going to fights over and over again, rather than being paired off. You know, sometimes it could be 5 minutes, sometimes it can be 25 minutes. I don't be running around, and then sometimes you get paired off. Like, so I'm like at the minute, I'm kind of bordering between 3,800 to 4,100. I get paired off sometimes with 1,000 league point players, and other times, 8,000. It's very rare that I get someone exactly where my level is. So that's a problem. And then when I'm online, more often than not, it's laggy. It's not flawless, especially in a 2 out of 3 set. At some point, it's gonna dip. And unfortunately, this isn't just my opinion on the online. I think quite a few people have had this issue. So yes, there's like 2 issues there. Is the launch and the online, and with it being particular, I get why they launched it early for Capcom Pro Tour and stuff. I get that, but the sacrifice, you don't want to be pissing people off from the start, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, third thing, graphically. Okay, it's by no means a bad looking game, and graphics don't make a fighting game. I'm the first one to say that. Graphics don't bother me, but there's just something about it that's not polished. For example, like the chains on certain characters. I think Vega's got one, Karen's got one, alternate. Birdie. They're like just weird. They just go through the graphics of the game, and like when you actually look at the picture up close, it's not crisp and smooth. It's grainy. It's like grainy, but like in a bad way. So I'm not saying the game looks bad, but it just doesn't look polished. It doesn't look like PS4 standard. Okay, but that's a minor thing. The main issue for me in Street Fighter 5, and tournament players have even said this, but to them they don't mind. They don't seem to mind it, but to me it's a big thing. This game, as much as I hate to say it, promotes mashing normals. Street Fighter 4 was a game that promoted mashing specials. For example, you put someone in a block string, they're going to mash uppercut if they're a Shoto, more often than not. They're going to churn that butter for an SPD. They're constantly doing mashing out special moves. This game is the opposite, where people are constantly spamming normals. Like there's no, like the footsie range, there's no like walking in and out, waiting. Like if I press something like a medium kick or sweep, it's because I think they're walking forward, or I'm trying to whip punish, or they're walking back. I'm doing it for a reason. I think I've read their movement. I'm not just pressing it over and over again, hoping that it works. That's me. I want to, if I'm doing something, I'm doing it for a read, as a punish, as a whip, not just for the sake of doing it. And it's so frustrating that you want to get into the groove, and then people do say that, you know, tournament players are saying that, oh, it's so great, you've got to press buttons, Maybe most people like that, maybe most people like the fact that they press buttons, but there's pressing buttons and then there's mashing buttons. So that's my biggest flaw with the game, is it promotes mashing normals, in my opinion. And that just leads to whole heaps of frustration with some characters' normals being 20 times better than others, other people's walk speed so they can walk forward and mash, other people's jumps, they can jump for free and then just mash on the way down. So overall, I'm not saying overall it's a bad game, please don't get me wrong. I'm sure many of you will disagree. I'm sure that also you can see where I'm coming from. Anyone who says it's a game that you don't have to press loads and loads of buttons, unfortunately you do. Like, to win, that's what people do. On your wake up, they keep going for crush counter stuff. They'll keep going for normals. A lot of people on their wake up, mashing jab, walking forward, stand medium kick, crouch medium punch, whatever the button they feel like pressing, let's just, oh yeah, this one's a good one, okay, I'll keep pressing this. Dear me. So, that is my thoughts on the problems Street Fighter 5 has had, still has. Let me know what you guys think. Do you think I'm out of my mind, or do you agree with everything I've said? Do you agree with some of the stuff I've said? I don't mind. I just want to put it out there. This is what I think. So yeah, let me know what you think, and I'll catch you guys later.